Hello everybody. There have been a lot of requests to actually do this in English because there are a lot of English speaking customers that would like to know more about the Auspicious 8 package. Okay, this is something that is very unique, something that's not done in the past 15 years under the visible header. So it's something that I would like to share with everyone. It is somewhat complicated. I'll try my best to explain in English. I know a lot of clients in Malaysia, in Singapore, Brunei, Indonesia, and probably all over Asia, and maybe in parts of the United States, Australia, UK. We have our clients, and I think this is for you. Auspicious 8 package is basically about a positioning. Okay, positioning of ourselves, positioning of be it our own residential properties or our office. So it is a very, very important year because 2019 is something that occurs in probably 180 years. So it is a very complicated calendaring system that has been passed on year by year from our ancient forefathers. So it's been around for at least quite a few thousand years. So this, without further ado, okay, you can see that over here we have 3 main products. Okay, these 3 main products, I will tell you about their usage, their functions, and also how to apply and how to actually make full use out of it to harness the true power of this Auspicious 8. Okay, so for Auspicious 8, very simple, very direct. When you look at a 9 quadrant, the 9 quadrant, you'll be able to see that what is in the center. Okay, it's number 8. Number 8. So I titled this the lucky star number 8. So the lucky star number 8 basically is about what? It's about fortune. It's about wealth. How to accumulate wealth. Why is it so special about this 8 as compared to the previous years? Like I say, this is a very unique, very powerful calendaring system. 8 is right at the center of the quadrant. Of course, this is known as what we call the flying stars. So the flying stars over here, you see there's a Chinese wording called Jing. Jing means like we are trying to trap this number 8 in order for us to actually harness the true power of this flying star in order to make full use and get the best out of it. Like I say, lucky star. Lucky star means it will bring good fortune to all of us. So this number 8 is like when it is right at the center of the 9 quadrant. It is known more like a commanding star. Okay, it is commanding all the other 8 stars that surround it, and it is very important because this occurs only in probably once in 180 years. So in the period of what we call the period 8, the period 8 started in 2004, and it will run all the way through to 2023. So in total, there are about 20 years. Okay, for the flying star, let me just briefly explain. Flying star is actually a very unique so-called. It is part of the calendaring system. Okay, but it is known as the flying star because it actually rotates and goes around in a cyclical pattern. So each pattern takes about 9 years because there are 9 stars. So the flight path is pretty much the same. There's clockwise and there's anti-clockwise. So in the case of period 8, which starts from 2004 to 2023, we are looking at right now is what is the year of 2018, end of 2018, and the beginning of 2019 will occur on the 4th of February. Most of the year, the starting year, in terms of Chinese lunar calendar, it follows this like very interesting system, whereby the year actually begins, under the so-called 24 seasonal period. So likely that it will fall under between February 3rd to February 5th. Next year in 2019, which is like also known as the year of pig, but the year of pig starts in the year of pig starts in February 4th. At a particular time, which if I'm not mistaken is after 11 a.m. in the morning. We will give out all the specifics in due time to remind everyone that on Feb 4th there will be a change of year, change of zodiac, change of even the flying star, whereby we see that the number 8, which is the superstar of what we are talking about, which is the auspicious 8, falls into the center of the 9th quadrant. So when you see that there are the others accompanying stars. Other accompanying stars will be like the number 1, number 6, number 7, 3, 5, 2, 4, 9, and respectively. These are the accompanying stars. But most importantly, we need to focus on number 8, since we are talking about period 8. So the 8 is the key. So the 8 is a very fortunate star, and it is in the commanding position in 2019. Okay, so in the what we call the stars of fortune, the stars of fortune are basically made up of 3 stars: number 1, number 6, number 8. Okay, these are what we call the wealth stars, or the fortune stars, or whatever that you like to call it. But in Chinese we call them 财星. 财星 means like fortune star, very fortunate. And the alignment of the fortune stars basically goes from the east to the west. The east is like number 6, right at the center we have the number 8, and on the west we have the number 1 star. So this alignment is also something that is unique, that you do not see it very often. I have to stress that number 8 is very key. It's not so much of like, oh, we are Chinese, we are very particular about the 8, whereby the 8 sounds like fa, in terms of the Chinese pronunciation. It is not. Okay, it is about the positioning of the star, the alignments of the star, and whatnot. Okay, so you see that this alignment is very unique, and every one of the stars, every one of the flying stars will play their respective roles. Okay. So in terms of what we call the calendaring system, we are using what we call the combination of 3 calendaring systems. One is about the so-called the 9 periods. The 9 periods starting from 1864. It goes back to 1864, right? From the middle of the 19th century, all the way to 2043. 2043 is the end of what we call the 9 period. So this is something very unique, because it all consists of about 180 years. So it's very complex, but I'm trying my best to simplify. We are what we call the period 8, which is like 2004 to 2023. So in total there are 20 years. So in these 20 years, number 8 is the key, is the master, is what we call the commanding star. Okay, so this occurrence where the 8 falls right in the center in these 20 years only occurs twice. The first time is in 2010, which is the year of the metal tiger. But in 2019, the year of pig actually kicks in after February 4th, and this pig falls under the element of earth. So earth element, which is also coincidentally is also the element of the period 8, whereby 8 itself under the we call the 后天八卦, which is the八卦that we use to position all these flying stars. It is actually in the northeast position. But the northeast position, under the flying star, every position has its own elements, but the northeast actually equates to earth element. So this earth element, follows the 8 throughout, whether it's 2005, 2010, 2018, or 2019, but depending on where the 8 lies. But in 2019's case, the 8 falls into the center. So the center is like what I say, previously, is like a trap. So the 8 is trapped. So we need to know how to actually unlock the power of number 8, harness the fortune that lies in within, and know what to do. And you see that the first part is the 9 period. The second part is actually the flying stars. The third part involving the 12 zodiacs, the 12 Chinese zodiacs, which goes from like the year of rat to the ox to the tiger, rabbit, and so forth. Next year is basically the year of pig. So the year of pig, the flying stars coupling with the period 8 will be our basis for the discussion and for the application and the formulation of what we call the auspicious 8, right? So why I bring up this this so-called Dow Jones Index. Dow Jones Index, a lot of people who involve or invest in the stock market knows that Dow Jones is the actually main index, the index or the benchmark for a lot of the other indices around the world, like the FTSE in UK, the ASX in Australia, the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, and so on and so forth. A lot of the indices around the world actually follows the Dow Jones Index, because they view the Dow Jones being the number one index in the world, because America is basically the world's most powerful economy, followed by China and Japan and so on and so forth. So you look at in the year of 2008, where most of us know that we experienced what we call a financial tsunami. What happened during the time the Lehman Brothers fell, and there were major crises that happened in the States, whereby the housing market collapsed, the stock market actually fell to the very bottom of it, and it actually rebounded when? Interestingly, it rebounded in year 2010, which is, like I mentioned, the number 8 falls into the center of the 9th quadrant. So 9 years once. So this cycle is going to repeat itself in 2019. So when 2008, when the market fell to the bottom, it rebounded in 2010, and from 2008 to 2018, which is now, it is about 10 years. During this 10-year period, the market, you look at the indices, the stock market has been going up. Okay, it is very strong. You can see that it has actually never taken a strong dip like what it did in 2008. So what messages are this sending to all of us? Well, the most important one, there are many messages, there are many so-called predictions and forecasts, but I think we only have to remember one, that opportunity will come, will knock on our door. Why? You say the market is already up. What should we look at? What can we look at? Well, what goes up must come down. Okay, it cannot sustain a long period of growth without having a correction. So this is where we see things may happen in the year of 2019. If you recall, like this alignment of the flying star, where the East has the number 6 and the West has the number 1. Okay. At the moment, when we look at the market, the most talked about news is basically the trade war that is happening between the US and the China market. So this has actually escalated and to a certain level whereby it worries everyone in the world. So next year, when this occurrence happens, when this pattern of flying star actually aligns, we have to be very careful. Why? Because it shows that, you see, what should we worry? Because the concentration of wealth is in these 3 flying stars, the 1, the 6, and the 8, and it's aligned in the East and West, meaning the East and the West, everybody will make a lot of money, probably, but I don't think so. I think important, we need to note that what goes up must come down. Right? When you look at the so-called Dow Jones Index, the Dow Jones has been going up, and I don't think this can actually sustain. So when we look at the chart, okay, 2019, this is supposed to happen. It may pop up to be probably another peak. Dow Jones may break, probably an all-time record, and it will go up even further. It will lead all the market indicators. That may be one thing. Nobody knows, because nowadays the market is very complex, and everyone seems to be all entangled up, much more intimately than before. So when we look at this chart, it says that we are supposed to hit a peak, because in the period 8, over the past probably 15 years, where this 8 falling into a commanding position, isn't that good? Yes, I will strongly say that it is a very good timing. Very good timing. Remember that, but it's not necessary that everyone is going to make a lot of money out of it. People make, or people will lose. But you say that isn't this obvious? Why do you have to iterate that? About all this is a no-brainer theory. Someone wins, someone loses. Yes, but I think I need to remind everyone that this is not coincidental. This is what we call a cyclical pattern. So when we study things like flying stars, the numerological so-called pattern that occurs using time, space, and all this. I think for the past 15 years, we have come up with something that is very unique under the visible brand or header. We have developed something that is unique. We have gathered a lot of data. We have analyzed a lot of not only individuals but companies as well. So from the experience that we derive, we can foresee or forecast certain pattern. Okay, in the movement of stars, in the movement of like so-called positive chi and whatnot. So this is something for us to look out for. Okay, so the energy level will probably peak, but after the peak, what will happen? Obviously, something will go down. So we need to know when it goes down, so that we know when to pick up the good stock. Like a lot of experts says that when do you enter the market, the stock market? When you see blood in the street, meaning most of the stock, most of the counters will go down. So we need to pick this particular juncture in order for us to go into what we call a once in a lifetime opportunity. So this will not occur again over and over. Next year is number 8, and the alignment of 6, 8, and 1 across between the east and west. So we know that the concentration of wealth is very strong. Okay, so if you are able to position yourself right, you are able to actually capture the number 8, harness the power, and make a lot of money. Okay, so what is this flying star? What is this flying star about? The flying star, if you know, in the northern hemisphere, okay, there's a star called the Northern Deeper. The Northern Deeper is seen only in the northern hemisphere. The southern hemisphere will have something what we call the Southern Cross, which is somewhat different. It has 6 stars. The Northern Deeper has 7 primary stars. There are 2 more which are hidden from our so-called naked eye. So in the case of the flying stars, we are always referring to the Northern Deeper. And under the Northern Deeper, we have 3 very auspicious stars, which is the number 6, number 8, and number 1. So again, we have like positioned the number 8 right at the center. So this is like 7, 3, 5, 6, 8, 1, and 2, 4, 9. This is how all the stars are being positioned. But we circle the 6, 8, and 1 in particular because these are wealth stars. So the wealth stars bring about what? Bring about wealth and good fortune. Okay. So we need to know how to harness the power, like what we say. What is the main what is the main secret, or what is the main key, what we call key behind this? You can see that out of this box we put there a number 3. And number 3 in Chinese, under the Northern Deeper, the Bei Dou Qi Xing, okay, it's called the Northern Deeper. We call it the number 3 star. We call it Lu Chun Xing. Lu Chun Xing, or this number 3 star, is a very unique star, because this star will actually help the commanding star to help, or I should term it differently. I should say escalate the commanding star into another level. If the commanding star is a good fortune star, so it will push it up to a higher level. Okay, so this number 3 is very important. It's what we call the key. So when we combine the numbers together, there are 4 numbers. We have like what we saw at the very beginning of my presentation here. We have a product called the 3168. So this number combination goes in this sequence: 3168. Okay, the number 3 will act as a kickstarter. It will help to kickstart the whole thing. It is the very, very important key to opening up unlock the wealth, harness it within the number 8 flying star. Okay. So the 3168, what it does, or where should we put it? How should we use it, and what is the main function? The 3168 is actually placed right at the entrance, the main entrance of your home, okay, of your house, of your main residential property, I should say. Okay, and apart from that, where can it be used? It can be also a place in your office, but in your office, if it is like let's say a commercial building, it has many floors, many stories. You place it right at your main entrance. On your floor, there may be 10 other companies, but each company has its own main entrance. Just place right at the entrance. That means that once you get in, like you look backward, you will be able to see, like, if it has like this space on top or on the side. On the side meaning you can actually place a small table to put your 3168 filter on it, or you can place it right at the top. So when you walk out from your home or your office, you will be able to see the 3168 filter plate. Okay, this is what we call it the key to harness the 168 flying stars or the wealth stars. Okay, so and once again, I would like to emphasize the 168 is derived from what we call the Northern Deeper, or the seven flying star, the known as the Chinese like 北斗七星, but the 北斗七星only has 7, right? But it is actually not true, because altogether it has 9 stars. The 2 stars are hidden from the naked eye. So we re-emphasize or revisit the period, the 9 periods, of flying stars. We now fall under the year 2004 and 2023. We fall under what we call the period 8. Okay, under the period 8 in 2019, the key is 2019. The commanding star is number 8, and it is right at the center of the 9 quadrant chart. Okay, so this is a very important placement. Of course, in period 8, what number should be used? Obviously, number 8. So this number 8, what we have done is recreated using the top grade filter. We created a number 8 filter plate. Okay, to be placed where each individual will have their own respective position. You have your own, and it is based on the calculation that what we say, the individual zodiac, individual date of birth, individual time. All this will be taken into consideration, and we will identify for basically a particular year, let's say 2019, where this filter plate should be placed. This filter plate will be coupled with another name plate, which will inscribe your own particular name in a Chinese seal, in the form of a Chinese seal. So let's focus on the 8. For the time being, the 8 will be placed in either your residential property, or it can be in your office. Okay, so this will be a very important so-called symbolism that we use to identify the position of the 8. Okay, the 8, the individual 8, which is you derive from your date of birth, will match with what we call the power of the number 8 in the year of 2019. Obviously, when the term flying star is being used, flying star means is it stationary? No, it is like mobile. It moves about. It moves about every year in a different position. It moves about every month, every day, and every moment in time. So we have the 4 pillars in 八字. The 4 pillars are known as the year pillar, the month pillar, the day pillar, and the time pillar. Okay, it is complicated, but we are simplifying all that for everyone. So all you need to do is to actually give us or provide us with all the details, like your date of birth, time of birth, the position of your house plan, in terms of the house facing. What is it facing? North, south, east, west, or northeast, or whatever directions, so that we can actually help you determine the positioning of the 8 and also the nameplate and where about to place it. And so you see that the 3168 is placed right at the entrance, and the number 8 plate together with the nameplate will be coupled together as one. Okay, so you do not separate the name and the 8. You combine them together, and we will help you locate the right position to be placed. Okay, and every month it is unique. Okay, you're gonna listen very carefully. Every month there's a specific day where you move it to a specific position. It can be north, south, east, west, northeast, or southwest. Okay, there are 6 positions or 6 sectors that you can actually move it. Not everyone will be moving to the same position. It is based on individual zodiac. It's based on the day pillar, month pillar, year pillar, and all sorts of factors that we have narrowed out and pinpoint to a very special sector just for you, so that you can actually, on that day itself, realize the so-called the wealth of fortune that you can actually receive or you can actually get. Okay, so once again have to emphasize this is a bigger diagram of your floor plan. This is particularly about the residential property, so it can be placed in a bedroom, in the living room, in a study room, except for toilets and all that. We do not touch toilets. Even kitchen, we can even place it in the kitchen. Okay, so for office it's the same thing. Avoid the toilets, avoid like the storeroom where nobody goes in except the storekeeper. So we are placing all the number 8, this auspicious 8 bundle in very respective position. Let's say, for example, in the office you have different stakeholders or shareholders or even directors. Okay, each of them will have their own unique set, because each of them will have their so-called different position based on their individual date of birth and their zodiacs. Okay, likewise at home, like husband, wife, and even children. If like a family of 4, okay, you have husband and wife, your son, your daughter, each of them can have a set of their own, but all they need, whether in the office or in your own home, you just need one set of 3168. Other than that, each individual will have their own unique auspicious 8 package or bundle. Okay, so in terms of wealth, we are talking about harnessing the fortune of this number 8. Okay, wealth is actually divided into 3 different types. What I term as the fortune of labor. The fortune of labor is like you earn an honest living. What we say in the honest living is like probably you work for someone else. Okay, be it a normal worker or a high level management, but you're working for somebody. Okay, so this is what we call the hard work of labor, the fortune of labor, where you earn an honest living. So this is one type of wealth, and the middle here is what we call the unexpected wealth, unexpected fortune. What is called the unexpected fortune is something that you earn probably through gambling. Like suddenly you won a lot of money, striking the lottery and whatnot. So it is not something that you can expect all the time. It is like through luck, very good luck, that you receive all this good fortune. Okay, but it's not something that occurs every day. The third one over here is the fortune of windfall. The fortune of windfall is something like myself. I'm doing business and I'm running a company. I'm an entrepreneur. So the money doesn't come in like the hard work of labor, even though we work probably harder than anyone else as bosses. But this is what I term as the fortune of windfall, meaning we expect not so much of like a monthly salary, but we expect the company will grow well in terms of revenue, and at the end of the day we make good profit and we actually get a good dividend out of it. So this is what we call the fortune of windfall. So there are 3 types of wealth that each and every individual can have the ability to earn, but it's your choice. Okay, it's your choice. I do not recommend the middle one, which is an unexpected fortune, because it is not for everyone. There's only a specific type of individual with a specific what we call numbers, or in Chinese term 八字, that can actually constantly harness this so-called unexpected fortune. So it is not for everyone. Right? So this is I think is another reiteration of the importance of 3168. The 3168 will act as what? Because we say that it's going to be placed right at the entrance of your own house or your office. So this is like what we call the guarding or the guardian angel of wealth. The guardian angel of wealth, where does it sit? Okay, where does it lie? It lies at the main entrance or the front entrance. Some people known as the front entrance. If I say the main entrance, they will say that I have a few doors in the house. Do I put it outside of my house? At the gate? No, it's in walking to your house, the residential dwelling, the building itself. You're gonna use the main door, the main entrance to the building. Be it the building is a house or a commercial building like an office. Okay, so this is like what we call the guardian angel of wealth. Very important, is the key to unlock the power of number 8. Okay, so all in all, we have the 3 products here. One is the 3168 pewter plate, and the other 2. Okay, the other 2 are basically you do not separate them; they work in pair. Okay, so the number 8 sits behind, and your nameplate sits in front. That's how it works. And each and every individual will have their own name carved onto the nameplate, and it will be positioned together with the number 8 at a specific sector. So from 2019 to 2023, in total, there are about 5 years. In these 5 years, we'll remind you, we'll give you a new report at the beginning of every year, before what we call the Li Chun. Li Chun is the first day of the new year of the Chinese, under the Chinese lunar calendar. So it is very important that we have that, you know, every year. So the company will have all the details, like Visible will have all your details. We'll remind you through the app, through your mobile phone and all that. So all the details should be provided to us. And also the other thing is, like, from 2019 all the way to 2023, we have like in total of 5 years. So 5 years you multiply by 12 months, so there are 60 months. In this 60 months, every month we will give you a specific date. This specific date is like you don't get your windfall in terms of like fortune or money or wealth. Okay, so every individual will have a specific date. Some zodiacs will probably fall into place, and will be given a specific sector, be it north, south, east, west, or like northeast or southwest. 6 sectors. We only utilize 6 sectors. Will be tabled out, will be announced probably at the beginning of every month, to inform every individual through our website, through our Facebook, through all the social media platforms. We will let everyone know about this very, very important day. Okay, so all you need to remember is, like, have your 3168, which is the key to unlock the fortune of the number 8. And secondly, you have the number 8 and the nameplate, where you'll be placed in a specific sector. And this number 8 and your nameplate will move every month, okay, for a particular time. You only move it for 24 hours. You place it there for 24 hours, and after that you revert it back to the sector that we gave you in the report. So all these things will be explained over and over again. We have our entire team standing by to answer all the questions that you still feel unclear. So don't worry about that. Today the power of technology will enable us to reach out to you very easily. Okay, so in the year of pig in 2019, I wish everyone good wealth, good health, good fortune, and may you harness the power of number 8. Thank you very much.